Well, it's that time of year again. It's the time when a PJ Fleck-led Gophers football team chokes their ass off in a game that they absolutely should win. Uh, and they did it in homecoming for everybody at homecoming. They made a big deal about it's homecoming. It's the stripe out. Well, they struck out because they lost 20-10 to Purdue, and Purdue's not terrible, but if you want to be this team that they keep claiming that they are, like like, oh, look at how we've blown out our opponents so far, and look at the schedule and what we can do. Well, you can't fucking do it, and they've proven it. Like, you can't. If they want to be the kind of team that they claim to be, you can't lose games like this. I'm sorry. They went out there and were terrible. If the defense didn't hold as well as they did, that game would have been 42-10. Gophers were terrible. Tanner Morgan sucked. Once again, you actually need Tanner Morgan to win a big game for you, and he's a fucking sixth-year player. He still can't fucking do it. He can't win a game for you. And Ibrahim didn't play. I don't know what the hell was going on there. I guess he was hurt, but he was fully dressed in uniform, standing on the sidelines with his helmet on. But he's supposedly hurt and can't play. Well, why the hell is he even there then? Why is he suited up and on the sidelines? What's the point of that? What is the purpose? Nobody knew until like halftime what was even going on there. Because I guess he practiced all week and was ready to go. And then they just don't play him. Unless they thought, oh, this is an easy game because it's home, and Purdue's, not ranked. Well, guess what? If that was the thinking, you fucked up again and you lost. And, stupid me, even I was starting to buy into this shit a little bit just because of how much they had blown out teams. And especially the one last week. I know Michigan State had fallen off. But, I mean, you go in there and you win whatever it was, 34-7 or something like that. That's gonna open some eyes. And then you immediately come back here and you throw up an egg or lay an egg. You threw the egg up and it fell and it shattered. But you fucking blew it. They blew it. Because now this changes everything for the season. Yeah, you can say, oh, Big Ten West. You can still win the Big Ten West because Wisconsin was getting destroyed again today. Iowa was getting beat. But, you've got teams like Purdue, Illinois. Illinois was the one blowing out Wisconsin, and you got to go play them in Illinois here in a couple weeks, I think. You still got to go to Penn State. Like, there's you're looking at the schedule, 24 hours ago, and you're like, boy, they could pile up a lot of wins here before they get the Iowa-Wisconsin games at the end, and maybe they can actually be in a position where, hell, if you lose one of those games, it ain't gonna matter too much because you still could win the division and earn the right to go get your shit pushed in the Big Ten championship. But I mean, it'd be something. But no, they can't. They're not even going to be able to be able to do that. And I don't and Ibrahim's hurt so bad you literally can't play him for a whole game, even when you're losing, even when you were terrible in the first half. Their offense isn't moving. Tanner Morgan ain't doing shit. You drop a touchdown pass, you shank a chip shot field goal. They had a shot. It was 13-10. They get the ball. Gophers get the ball with like 4 and change to go. And what does Tanner Morgan do? Goes 3 and out. And you got a punt. And then they give up a long run and a touchdown, and that's it. This guy's a 6-year player. If he's ever going to fucking do this shit, if he's ever going to be this big time player for you, today was the day to do it, and he failed completely. And the season ain't over. They're gonna still win a bunch of games and probably have a some sort of mid-tier bowl. Maybe they'll even beat Iowa or Wisconsin. It's possible. I mean, those teams aren't any good. Purdue's probably better than either of them. But I'm sorry, you can't. Every fucking year, there's one or two of these things that they lose that they absolutely shouldn't lose. And upsets happen, but guess what? You want to be this team. Fleck wants to be the fucking king of college football. You can't lose these games, and there's one or two every year. Last year was Bowling Green. This ain't as bad as Bowling Green, but it's pretty fucking bad. And this is a very, very bad loss. It doesn't 100% ruin the season, or what they can do for the season. But I mean, it's everyone's expectation. Any momentum they were having, that just got derailed completely because you packed the stadium. I assume it was packed, um, and you just lay a complete egg like this. It's just it's not even disappointing because you're almost you do expect it because for all the bluster of PJ Fleck, like he does better against not last year with Bowling Green, but he does better against like the cupcakes. You blow them out like you're supposed to, fine. And he's won a couple of games against Wisconsin, fine. But he hasn't reached the echelon that he thinks he has. And shit like this, games like this today are why, because you just lay a complete egg like this with your 6th-year quarterback at home. I'm sorry. Like the defense, you can't blame them. Like they did enough. Like they gave up that long run at the end, but that was they were just exhausted. They gave you so many chances. They gave you a couple turnovers. There was a 4th down stop in there somewhere. Like they gave him a shot, and the 6th-year quarterback couldn't get it done. And I know they're out of receiver too, but like this guy's been in college since the 90s. Like just go win a game. Go win a game for your team, for God's sakes. So tired of this shit with Tanner Morgan. People hype him up like he is some great quarterback. He's been here 6 years and he's completely unreliable if you actually need him to win you a game. And this isn't even like, a top tier team that you're facing. I'm sorry, Purdue's okay. But like you got 13-10 with 4.5 to go or whatever today. Go fucking put a drive together and at least tie the game. But no, he goes 3 and out and then they punt and that's it. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely. I'm kind of indifferent most of the time to the Gophers, but God, even I was buying in a little bit on this one just because of how decisively they were blowing teams off the field. And like, was it just because they didn't have Ibrahim? Because you can't be that reliant on one guy. I think they ran okay at times, but you need your fucking 6-year quarterback to step up, and you can't do it. And it's like this season was the last shot for him, obviously, and you're not going to get it done. Maybe you still can rebound and win Big Ten West, which is terrible. But we saw it with the Twins. Easy division, terrible division. Just play competently and go win this, and just do what you're supposed to do. And they can't do it. And it looks like maybe the Gophers are going to do the same shit. So, flex frauds, and that's what you got to call them again, is flex frauds, because they're frauds. I don't want to hear any more complaining about, why aren't the Gophers ranked, or why aren't they ranked higher? Why aren't they in the top 10? Well, maybe this is why they're not in the top 10, because people who pay closer attention actually see through it that, yeah, you had blowout wins, but the teams you blew out are terrible, and it doesn't matter that you blew them out because you're not that good, and they're obviously not that good. They're middle of the pack type of team, but we've had it worse when we couldn't even be middle of the pack, but there was hope for something more, and I think that hope is gone.